There was somebody creeping up on us here that I didn't catch. It looked like a unique was coming. So let's do a quick check. Maurice. Okay, Maurice shouldn't be too bad. I think I'm fairly comfortable fighting you. Oh, that's why I didn't recognize you. You look completely different. What are you now again? It does not say... Oh, never mind. The magical parasitic vines that have claimed your body. Yikes, buddy. Well, sorry to see it. Unfortunately, I will just murder you on the spot, but... hopefully, that puts to rest your soul now that you no longer have the parasite completely overshadowing your day-to-day. I mean, you're dead, so I guess you can't really appreciate it, but the sentiment is there nonetheless. We did our best for you. We did what we could. Okie dokie. If I could get some of you kiddos to approach me on the stairs here, fantastic. In fact, this might be a decent time for us to fool around with the new dragon form. Ooh, looking completely different as well. Look at the smile on that bad boy. Well, let's see what comes our way. Should be basically annihilate anything with, yeah, unarmed combat base rating of 70. Jeez Louise. I think a couple of the other NPCs also got a race change. Yeah, I think... was it Erica? I know one of the sorceresses became an octopode, if I remember correctly. And I feel like we've seen one more of the updated sprites as well, though I cannot recall it off the top of my head at the moment here. But okie dokie, we are definitely just smashing through all of our new friends. Fortunately, most of the enemies in Orc use fire magic, if any elemental spells. So that's definitely up our alley to deal with. I should be more cautious. I think we do actually have paralysis on those ogre mages and on you sorcerers as well. 33% is definitely a heck of a lot higher than I would like. So we should probably just leave, but what I think we'll do is start with an apocalypse, and that will murder basically everyone. Fantastic. And then we can hop back, let our regeneration kind of run its course as we bring these enemies away. Oh, hey, Saint Roca. How's it going? Jesus. I mean, not necessarily out of our capacity to deal with. Again, we're a heavy hitter right now. We have a decent amount of health, even with the drain in place. And we have saved up, so we could always apocalypse again if we start to feel a little overrun. Oh, Sonya was here as well. At least you have a dagger of venom and not distortion, so we don't need to worry about an unscheduled trip to the abyss, or at least not immediately. Can I hit you with my fire breath? No, unfortunately you're a bit far. But that's fine. We also have some sacrifices that we should probably at least take a peek through. You think the Ogre Wizard is now an Oni, or at least considering the change? Would make a certain amount of sense with the transfer. I guess to a degree, because we've already seen a lot of regular ogres, or as we've now come to affectionately call them, our long-lost cousins. Still in their original form here. But nonetheless, sacrifice words? Nah. Purity here will give us strength -2, can probably afford that. And in fact, I'd probably rather do that than an eye. Don't really want reduced accuracy. Kind of our whole thing here is going to be hitting hard and hitting fast. I could also reject these sacrifices. Wait for like a -int would probably be pretty nice for us. Again, unless we haphazardly flirt with the idea of switching into some form of spellcasting later on in the run. Does just max us out though. Let's hold out. Let's not get too excited just yet. We'll reject these sacrifices for now. I apologize, Rue, but Sometimes these things are necessary. Sonia. You can take one more step towards me. Thank you. At least see how the damage does, and it's looking better already. And let us just continue to drag a few of our enemies back up to this stairwell, kind of lighten the load of the eventual encounter with Roka. Speak of the devil, back already. Guess who's back with a brand new rap, and I don't mean rap as a new case of... Ooh, there we go. Not too bad. Pump everything into strength. We get another 3 points. Holy moly. Well, not too bad whatsoever. No need to apologize to Rue. You can't offend him. True. As long as all things are perfectly balanced as they should be. Rue doesn't have too much of a problem. And, you know, I respect that. Not getting too high on yourself. Too high on yourself is what I was trying to say before immediately fumbling my ability to speak completely. So, you know, I think we could all learn a little something from Rue. Something to apply into our futures here, but regardless, we're gonna chug through some stuff. Potion of Ambrosia now shows up with light blue text. Ambrosia didn't change, right? Yeah, no, still the same here. Interesting. Normally that's like something I associate with, what, scrolls of acquirement? So I think I, in the past, generally held on to that as a, like, ooh, good rare. Potions of Experience, I think, was the other notable exception that got that text color. Now Ambrosia joins the club. I mean, it is the drink of the gods, so fair enough to a certain extent. But okay, this dragon form is definitely doing it for me. And you know, as much as we had some struggles getting this run off the ground, and I guess specifically having a couple of runs where we didn't get nearly far enough to really get the full picture, I still would probably make the argument that it is easier to make an Oni shapeshifter now than it was to do an Ogre transmuter, which is one of my favorite combinations. I mean, I hadn't tried it out for the majority of my time playing the game, and then I forget, is probably Settler who originally turned me on to the path and showed me the light. But yeah, the fact that this might be a little bit more straightforward to get off the ground is fantastic, because I definitely would like to run this style a little more often if at all possible, because I have a lot of fun with it, for sure. I think I will buy a Scroll of Silence. It's relatively cheap. We'll wait on anything else until we've seen the last... Oh, I was going to say the last couple of shops, but I guess we already did see this one scroll shop, so that's fair enough. Anything here that could sway me? I mean, we don't have that much teleport on us at the moment, so maybe I'll pick up these buddies, and then the general store... Like, it did have the Ring of Slain, which we could potentially... I mean, we don't have the money for it now, so never mind, but still was an option to at least pass over and think about for a moment. Kind of miss the Constrict on the snake form. It is nice being able to have those status effects, but I think we more than make up for it by doubling our damage output overall. And not too bad. That's Orcish Mines. Relatively clear. I think we could potentially just head back to Lair. Actually, no. Before we do that, let's finish off the remaining floors of the dungeon, or at least see if we're able to do so. Give it a quick looky-loo here. I mean, there's some slain. Unfortunately, not going to be applicable to us in our draconic mode here, but... still interesting to say the least. Hey, Jorgrun, can we chill, man? Kind of busy here at the moment. Had a few other friends that we were dealing with. We'll be getting poked from afar by the pole arm. Could just leave, or I guess this is another moment that Apocalypse might just be the way to go. But okay, let us put on dodging. Bring that up to at least somewhere around 8, you know, not too high. fighting can continue being trained, and then let's go back to focusing some shape-shifting. Bringing that up a few levels as well, shall we? And let's blast them. Was kind of hoping we'd get Jorgrun while they were asleep on their toes. Yikes. Okay, 77 health. Do need to be slightly cognizant of Please wrap deconstruction here. Petrifying would also be rough too. In fact, everything in your oeuvre here, Iron Shot. So what I was looking at a bit ago was potentially silence. And we could still do so. I mean, 77 health is relatively low, but our saving grace here is that we have a decent number of healing potions. I was going to say, as long as I don't immediately die here on that turn. Because now we heal up and we also get the swipe. And beautiful. Little riskier than I originally intended, but hey, we get lucky enough to squeak on by without too much issue. Taking care of a decently scary unique while we're at it, so that is fantastic. And we were a little too close to Elroka to do much else, but that was slightly scary for the chance of banishment coming our way. Fortunately, our ridiculous damage, again, saves us from that potential fate worse than death. And not too bad. Honestly, I think the use of Consumable or 2 against Unique is a valid use, especially against Jorgrun. I think my bigger issue with that encounter was that we never should have gone quite that low in the first place. Should have probably, like, you know, potentially done the Heal Wounds potion a turn earlier just to make sure that we got through. I guess that would have been tough because then we don't get the silence. It's all academic at this point. Regardless, we made it through in one piece, and that's the important little bit. But okay, Rupert, if you paralyze me, we're in deep trouble. So eventually we're going to have to get this whole willpower or lack thereof sorted out. Oh me, oh my. What the heck do I do against you, Rupert? Only one more stairwell, and yeah, it doesn't really bring us into new territory. At the end of the day here, we can walk away from where we last saw our rage-filled friend. Up above. Let's see how it goes. Ooh. That's a new tile as well, right? These library tiles? That looks super cool. I like that for thematic. Still just a stone wall, but give the Sif altar a little bit of... I don't even know the word I'm looking for there. A little bit of zhoosh, a little bit of... Again, blanking completely. But it looks great, I guess, at the end of the day. And so maybe I should have just stuck with the more readily available words at my disposal. Fantastic. And there we go. That's more like it. Aesthetic, not the word I was looking for, but I do like that. I was thinking of like some gumption or some you know, raw power type thing, but regardless, yes, it looks great. Never seen the library tiles. It looks good. Agreed. Do remember that I've enlightenment potions to help. Right. I did not remember that, so I appreciate the input. Thank you so much for reminding me that that was the change here. So, I think we will pop one of those bad boys. Still a bit of a higher chance to paralyze than I would like. And if you go berserk, tit for tat, buddy. We will do the same, and fantastic. Fortunately, the Hydra doesn't see us as well, so we can safely wait out the rest of that slow and return to our normally scheduled murder here. Fantastic. And not too shabby whatsoever. Just about done the regular dungeon. One more floor to test our mettle and see how things go. I will stay on the stairwell. I was hoping that our ogre friend would block off Centaur Buddy for a little bit longer than they did. I mean, regardless, again, it kind of worked out. You see that icon and you think levitation only, I'm 100% in the same boat. Especially since generally kind of just ignored those completely for the entirety of runs. So it is a paradigm shift, to say the least. Because yeah, I guess that was relevant to your earlier message that they're gonna have to change the icon for sure. Because I guess what else had a similar change? Another, was it a potion? An item of some kind got a change of name. I mean, some are a bit more readily apparent. Things like darts of dislocation instead of boomerangs, all of that's normal. The Ring of Flying? Did the Ring of Flying change at all? I haven't actually found a Ring of Flight yet. No, I'm blanking because it was sometime last week. Oh, occultist. Oh, I see. This is just a wizard. Bit of a name change. Very cool. Well, hopefully you're not able to banish me, and indeed we are able to get through in one piece. 33% chance to banish probably made that fight worth running away from immediately, but can't complain too much. Ended up working out regardless, at least for the moment here. Hey Dracant, what's the game plan for today besides not dying? Largely just enjoying the ever-living crap out of the new version of Dragon Form here. Dragon Form, or I guess Transmutation Dragon Form Ogres may be a thing of the past, but Dragon Form Oni are definitely here to steal their title for some of the more fun that a person can have in a DCSS run, and it's definitely living true to that for the moment here. Let us power leap kind of into danger, but largely just to get away from our ice friend. Jeez Louise. A little bit scarier than I would have liked. Again, hopefully we're able to find ourselves some kind of ring form of cold resistance, otherwise we're going to be struggling with this the entire time. And hello dragons. In fact, do you look different too, dragons? It's not as huge of a change as, I think it was in like 0.27, 0.28 that dragons had a complete overhaul, to the point that I don't even really remember what the old sprites looked like. But these feel different to me as well. They look a little more detailed, I guess. But the occultist looks far more of a threat than the pajama-wearing wizard does. True, which I guess is a hit and a miss, because at the end of the day, what I will say about the wizards is that they are awfully fond of fireballing themselves right in the face. So, while being a banishment threat to say the least, they do take some of the bite out of their stance by making that foolish decision. In fact, I believe even that occultist we fought in this very run did fireball in close proximity and blow themselves up. But hey, we all make stupid mistakes. I mean, again, if you're someone who has come to visit the stream on multiple occasions, then you're well aware that I'm probably the type of person that would have made the exact same silly decisions, throwing fireballs too close, because hey, I think we can squeeze through here without losing our life in return. And then 5 seconds later, we regret everything. But such is the way of life. Okay, Cattle Plebis, no problem. Bit of troll action, fantastic. Definitely glad that we went out and got a little bit more experience before continuing our way into Lair 5, but at this stage, no issues whatsoever. And we'll just blast our way through the remainder. And that should be beautiful. But yeah, the drones do look different. They are just simple copy pastes with a color change. Oh, did they look different than each other too? Because that I did not notice. I'll have to pay a little bit more attention if we do see them again. I think it was largely their mouths and their teeth that were throwing me off. Doki doki. I mean, cultist, crazy magic users, all the same thing. All should be, yeah, scary in their own right. Never know what a Mad Hat Wizard is going to pull out of the cap. But okie dokie. We do successfully and safely make our way out here. Shapeshifting and fighting, keeping up really close. Apparently the focus and non-focus with a third skill on makes the +2 and the -2 pretty much even out. Trying to think of where our fighting was sitting prior to this. I think they might have both been at 16. So how about that math? Interesting. Regardless, what comes to mind next here is what we wish to do. So I, again, take the quick glance to my internet and see if it's still having its fair share of issues this evening, but looking good so far. And, okay, we have Shoals and Snake. I mean, Snake, we should do alright. There aren't really cold-themed enemies in Snake. And we have poison resistance in dragon form. So I think that is probably the right place to start. Hopefully by the time we have to do Shoals, we have a little bit more cold resistance under the belt. Could even go Snake form to really give a who's who in the Snake world here. But reptiles, kind of close enough in general, so I think dragon form is what we'll stick to for the moment. As much as I want to have some karmic vengeance against the snakes who have so often killed off promising runs, at the end of the day, murder is probably the best revenge. Now, how's that for a life lesson? Surprised Pixar hasn't already thrown that into one of their movies. Okay, Guardian Serpent has to die first, then we pop through here, and then we get well and truly overwhelmed, or at least it gets close to. Fortunately, things seem to lighten up a bit as we get back through our little crevasse here. Right, also did get a bunch more of these sacrifices. I don't think we'll do Courage this time around. Nimbleness, though. No more dodging. It's not great. I mean, low MP on the other hand, minus 10% MP. We'll need a little bit for Apocalypse, but it's not like that's a spammable spell anyway, so that is probably going to be the one we take. Unfortunately, it is trivial, so it doesn't bring us up to full pips. I just don't really want to do Courage at this point. Again, we're kind of in a good spot, so we can maybe afford to just do a few trivial in a row. So let's just pop that bad boy through. And okay, I was slightly concerned with our electrical themed friend, but fortunately, they're not quite the problem that I was originally concerned about, and so we'll just hop into the mix of things here. Yikes, as we start to compound the damage a little bit more than we'd like once again. So we'll head back to our lovely little kill crevasse as we've come to know and love it. And that should pretty much do the trick. Maybe. Naga Warrior. There we go. Finally take them down. And not too shabby. Let's head over to the entrance to fully heal up before we continue this crowded venture. But definitely think we made the right call on where we went. Bunch of salamander occultists and whatnot. Nothing we can't handle.